Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
Soberish started off as a personal project for me back in late 2016. I was a teacher at the time, very new to the whole online website business world. Very much learn as I went and discovered that there was a really strong audience for my content. And that's when I started monetizing and turning it into an actual business. I'm also now in my real life in SEO. So I spend basically all of my time just driving traffic to websites and developing strategies for that. So I bring that knowledge set to Soberish as well.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
I'm selling Soberish because, one, I work full time. I have a family. I don't have the time to devote to it. As my career has grown, my time to spend on the website has become more and more limited. I've lost passion for the subject matter. So I think it's time to sell it, pass it along to somebody who does have the time, energy, and resources to invest in growing it and to be something really great.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
I don't do a lot of work on the website anymore these days. There are about 300 some odd articles on the site currently that are doing the earning. Mostly what I do is just check my VA's work. I work with a VA and she produces a set amount of pins for the existing articles that we have. We limit it to what actually earns from Pinterest. And I just do a quick check of the pins and then give her the thumbs up, and then she gets everything scheduled. So I might spend an hour, if that, per week on the business. If I get inspired, I'll add some content to it. And so that will increase my time to maybe like a couple extra additional hours in the month, but I don't invest that much time in it anymore. I have taken to recently just trying to update some older posts because there are some posts that could use it that are, 2, 3+ years old, but it's very hands off at this point. But with somebody who wants to get more hands on, I think it would grow really quickly.
So if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
If I were to keep the business, there's a couple of different directions I could go. Right now, I generate a lot of business from Pinterest. So I would certainly increase the volume of content that I'm producing because it's practically nothing at this point. So with a little effort, I could definitely, 2, 3, 4, 5x traffic and earnings. Aside from that, if I wanted to focus on the sobriety aspect of the website, which is how it was initially conceived, then I would invest more time in creating digital products. There's opportunity for courseworks, creating a membership community. I have an email list that's very stagnant. I try to rejuvenate that. I have a private Facebook group that I don't really engage with anymore. That has about 6,000 users. So, there's different options basically out there on the table.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
I think the biggest risk to be aware of is just that ad revenue is the primary income generation source for Soberish right now. And we know that model is a little bit in jeopardy right now with everything that's gone on post helpful content update, as well as with Google AI overviews, things like that. So I would definitely advise the buyer to consider, diversifying traffic sources and really thinking about distribution. That being said, a large chunk of this traffic, most of it, in fact, is coming from Pinterest, which has been very stable and steady. It does very well. And that is even with Soberish not being really a Pinterest friendly subject or niche at all. So even if somebody wanted to take the site and sort of pivot it into something more Pinterest friendly, there would be so much opportunity there because the sale of this site does come with a very well-established 10-year-old Pinterest account that is trusted by Pinterest. Anything posted there tends to perform very well. So, there are some opportunities as well.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
I'm willing to lend as much support as needed at the beginning of the sale. Happy to make a connection with my VA. She is excellent. She knows how to run that Pinterest account. And I know she would be interested in continuing to work on the site with the new owner. So I can make those introductions, kind of walk through systems and processes with you and answer any questions that you have about the content, share source files for anything that you need. Happy to do all that to make sure that you have what you need to get started.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
I would not be open to something like an earn-out payment structure just because I kind of want to get the sale done, get the new owner set up, and then just, be done with it at that point.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
I think the business is worth buying because it's very stable and steady. And whereas it's not, like a monster earner earning, 10, 15, 20K a month, it could be if somebody put actual effort into it. I, did a ton of work on the site up front, but it hasn't gotten the attention or the love that it needs and deserves in the last year as I've, just focused on other things. And yet it still continues to earn, a couple to a few thousand every month. So it's stable, it's steady. The Pinterest count alone is extremely valuable because it is getting harder and harder to get success with new Pinterest accounts. Pinterest is cracking down on newer accounts. I have a very established account. It's 10 years old. It's not like Google where you're just very limited and restricted to one topic area. So, sky is the limit, especially for anybody who is really good with using Pinterest as a traffic source there. I think that the business, if given the right attention and the right amount of focus, it could really grow into something high earning. I just don't have the time, but I think it is a good investment for somebody who, is good at this kind of thing, excited about the subject, even if you're not. There's a lot of solid foundation that you can build off of here and to something that you are interested in. So I think there's a lot of value to this website.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.